Jack Benny, as you all know, I think can be easily called probably a great American institution. He's a legend in his own lifetime, and he probably gets maybe a little embarrassed to hear that at times, but he is truly a remarkable man, and I am enormously proud to call him my friend. Would you welcome Mr. Jack Benny? I told you he was a remarkable man.
How are you? Johnny, congratulations.
Thank you, Jack. Would you take on?
I'll tell you something you won't believe.
Yes, sir.
I just got off a bus. I drove the bus. Hello.
I thank you for coming.
Well, Johnny, this is really, I'm so glad I was invited, and I brought you a gift. And I'll tell you what it is. This is something you have to show. The audience has to see this. You know, everybody thinks, including yourself, that I laugh harder and louder at George Burns than anybody in the world. And I'm going to prove to you now that I don't.
You always say you do, though.
But I don't.
You don't?
No. Now, if you remember, some time ago, I was given a testimonial dinner in New York City, and you were the Toastmaster.
Right.
Now, I want to show you a picture. You're the Toastmaster. Burns and I are sitting, and I want you to see me laughing. Can you show this to somebody? Can we show this to the audience?
Yeah, they're going to get a camera right over here.
All right.
Just hold it up. I'm going to sneak a look on the monitor myself. Good heavens. You are falling over backwards.
Never in my life have I laughed that loud at George Burns. There you are. And you can have the picture.
Thank you.
That's well, Johnny, it's just marvelous. This is your 10th anniversary. And when I think how hard you have worked for 10 years, never having a night off, never being able to leave the place, even for one night, nobody to take your place. And of course, NBC, they gave me a 10th anniversary. On my 10th anniversary, you would have been there, but you weren't even born.
How many years altogether now has it been that you have been a professional entertainer? The first time you walked on stage for a paid engagement, received money, how many years?
Including everything in show business?
Including everything, from vaudeville, from the first time you entertained in the Navy, or first time as a youngster?
I would say about 58 years.
Good heavens.
Did you say 58 years? 58 years in show business, and I'm getting less money tonight than any night that I've ever been. We had to sign a contract for that yet.
Even for the first professional engagement, you probably did more than that.
I go back, I would say about 58 years.
You said the other night the National Conference of Christians and Jews presented you with a humanitarian award.
Yeah.
And you made a statement which I really think you believe in front of that audience about if you had your wish and something could happen, something you'd really rather do. And I thought it was most
About the
interesting.
violin, you mean?
Yes.
Well, that night at the dinner, first I told them, because you didn't hear it, that for years and years and years, I've been Johnny Carson's idol.
It's true.
Now, you've said it, haven't you?
Many times.
Many times. Then all of a sudden, the whole thing switched, and Johnny Carson became my idol. And you want to know something? It's not nearly as much fun this way. I liked it much better the other way. What did you ask
But
me?
you said if you could be granted one wish, or if God would speak to you,
Oh.
what you would rather do.
Well, what I said was, gee, I'm glad that you mentioned it now. You're smart.
I like that.
Yeah. I said that I love the violin so much that if there were such a thing as a miracle today, and God came to me and said, Jack, you know, he knows practically everybody. You're smarter than I am. If he said, Jack, starting tomorrow, I will make you one of the world's great violinists, but no more will you ever be able to tell a joke, I really believe that I would accept it. That's a tough thing to say, isn't it? When you've been getting laughs all your life. That's how much.
You would really like to
That's how much I actually love the violin.
But you still practice all the time, and you play around the country.
I practice.
You get better?
No. Let me tell you something about Let me tell you something about the violin, Johnny. You know I give a lot of concerts.
Right.
You have to practice even to be lousy.
To stay in shape.
This I found out, and any one of the musicians will tell you. You have to practice. I practice every day, maybe 2 hours, and I never seem to get any better. And I give concerts with the biggest symphony orchestras in the country. You know, Isaac Stern once said to me, he says, you know, Jack, when you walk out in front of a symphony orchestra in white tie and tails and your violin, you actually look like one of the world's great violinists. It's a damn shame you have to play. But Johnny, really, yes, I am so happy to be here, and I want to thank you for being the Toastmaster for my dinner.
I wouldn't have missed it.
And Jews. You're the Christian.
I was a Christian.
Burns was the Jew on that.
I wouldn't have missed
Burns, I'm sure of. I don't know.
No, I'm delighted you could be here. You know, and I've said this.
It's a wonderful thing for you to have. You know, on my 10th anniversary, as I said, you probably weren't even born, NBC, but we had all the kids there. We had little Jimmy Durante, little Edward G. Robinson, all those. They were kids then, you see. And that was my 10th anniversary with NBC. You know, Johnny, I want you to ask me something, because I also think it was nice of me to come down here.
Just...
And I want to get a break out of this. So before I leave, and I know I have to leave soon, incidentally, I'm always following the governor, Governor Reagan.
You did last.
Because I remember even when we were under contract to Warner Brothers. We were under contract to Warner Brothers.
Can we hold a story?
Huh?
Mr. DeCordova, your former producer and now mine, is telling me we have to break here for a moment.
But then can I stay for a minute later?
Hours. Certainly.
Hours?
Certainly you can. We're going to take a pause just for one of our sponsors, and we'll come back. You can stay with us all night if you'd like.
Well, remind me what I just said.